can't think of many things more chaotic than the king of an island who looks like this and gets so pissed off that he throws his limbs at people. Perhaps the only thing that has a chance of stacking up is the soundtrack that goes with it. Welcome to Plok, the 1993 game for the Super Nintendo that'll have you smashing your controller with the bizarre checkpoint system, but immediately forgetting your troubles and jamming out to the absolutely insane music that accompanied it. Plok is an incredible example of how sometimes absolute chaos can make complete sense. And the #1 rule of music is that there are no rules. Upon booting up the game, we're immediately met with an epic blues on this title screen. Check this out. Okay, wait. You almost forget for a moment that we're on the Super Nintendo. Alright, this is an 8-bit audio system hardly capable of creating such a convincing harmonica. Or at least, that's what everyone thought. Even Shigeru Miyamoto himself was convinced that Plok had to be running on a modified console. He literally didn't believe that the Super Nintendo was capable of sounding like this. Now, in and of itself, this may not sound completely chaotic, but we're already getting hints of this rejection of the rules. Hey, time is running out to grab 30% off my best-selling course of all time. It's the Intro to Piano course, and right now it's under $100. Use the link down in the description below and plug in code LEARNPiano30 at checkout. You're gonna get 30% off, and that is the absolute best way that you can start to tackle this instrument. All the skills that I use to break down music on this channel, they all come from my understanding of how to play this thing. And if you've ever wanted to play, whether you want to learn your favorite songs, play for your friends and family, or if you just want to be able to listen to music and understand more of what you're hearing, learning the piano is your key to doing just that. And I've put together a massive course with everything that I would want if I was starting out learning piano today. Everything I've learned, all of the aha moments, they're all in this massive course that you can get your hands on using the link in the description below. And if you don't know, that's how I support this channel here, rather than taking sponsorships from companies that you don't care about, I don't really care about either. I wanted to build something for you that's actually useful. Something you can take and apply on your own and transform your musical journey. You'll be able to take the skills you learn in that course and learn to play anything you want. And you'll be supporting the channel while you do it, which I'm super appreciative of. So thank you so much. Use that link down below. Remember, use code LEARNPiano30 at checkout. What we're hearing in the beginning here is a 12-bar blues in the key of B. The most basic version of it consists of just 3 chords. We would have that 1 chord, right? We're in the key of B, so B is our 1 chord, and then we would move up to our 4 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the key of B, the 4 is E, right? And we get this E7 chord usually, and then we go back to B, and the only other chord that we have in the traditional blues form is the 5 chord, right? Which in this case is F sharp, maybe, and then maybe we go back to the 4 before going back to the 1 chord, right? That's normally what we expect to hear, but that is not what we get in the title sequence. In this title sequence, we have this really, it's still very simple, but it uses this super cool variation, and it goes like this. Here's our 1 chord. We're hanging out on this B7 chord. There's our 4. 1. Now, we don't get our 5 chord, we get a 2 chord. Check this out. So we've just gone 1, 4, 1, and then we expect we're gonna go to our 5 chord, but we don't. We go C sharp dominant, right? C sharp 7. Where do we go after that? Oh, there's our 4. Oh, we get a D. That's not even in, that's so cool. Okay, so that's not even in the chords or even in the diatonic space of B. What do I mean by that? Diatonic just refers to anything that's like using the notes of the scale. So if we're in the key of B, we're calling calling that our home base, right? And so all the chords that we are typically going to find in the blues form or in a form that is utilizing the key of B are going to use chords that are built on the notes of this scale, right? It's a very simple way of developing harmony, right? What we don't find in the B major scale is D. That's not in the B major scale, so that's not diatonic harmony, when that's an interesting thing to use here. And that's just the title screen. We haven't even gotten into the game yet. And it's not even just the harmony where we're like, the rules don't matter. It's also in the rhythm and in the meter too. Here's an entire theme that's just in 7 for some reason. Oh my god! Wow! Okay, hold on. I was busy thinking about 7, but yet, oh my god. Okay, these chords are absolutely insane. So what do we have in the beginning? It sounds like an E major 7, like add 9. Does it just go down a whole step? Yeah. Yeah. E major 7, add 9. D major 7, add 9. Where do we go? Oh! Wrong note. We got the 5 of the chord on the bottom, and we keep it there, even as we change. That's so sick. Oh, man. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Yo! So that's the device you can see that we're using. We're playing a chord. This is sort of where we're like our home of that moment. And then we drop it a whole step, right? And we do that, and then we go down. What's the relationship here? That is so cool. What we're actually doing here is we're just descending the diminished scale. Check that out, okay? E, D, C sharp, B, oh man, A sharp, G sharp, right? We're going. And then to complete the scale, all we would have to do is go G, F, that's it. That's the diminished scale. So that's a really cool trick that you can use because there's another cool relationship here. Oh, this is just so Plok full. Oh God, sorry. This is just so full of really cool harmonic information. And what we're doing here is this is a whole step, and then if we move that whole thing down a minor third, now move that home down a minor third again. So that which makes sense, minor thirds make up the diminished chord, and if you fill that in to be the diminished scale, it's all connected. Everything's connected, and it's amazing. And listen. Woohoo! What a melody. That is so cool. But you know what? It's not entirely in 7 either, because out of nowhere, we drop into this. What? It is absolutely insane. There are so many incredible things happening rhythmically, harmonically. There's just so much in here. And it kind of is allowing itself to just go wherever. There's a lot of minor thirds, a lot of diminished sounds being used as a method to move harmony around, right? We're not using diminished chords. That's not what we're hearing at all. We're using the notes of diminished chords to move other chords. This is a device you can use, right? So if I took every note of this, E, G, B flat, D flat, technically it'd be A sharp and C sharp, I guess. But if we took every note of that and just made a chord and moved those chords, Let's make just major chords, right? Ugh. That is the beauty of minor thirds, of diminished, using diminished to move other chords around, to move shapes around. We can do all kinds of things. Any line that you can learn how to play, you can move it around using minor thirds and it's gonna sound sick. How about the time you get a complete prog rock saga in the middle of the game? Check this out. You know, and at first I was listening to this and I was like, you know, this is cool, but I don't know, there's not a whole lot going on here that I think is particularly interesting. Just a nice motif with a couple of chords flowing over it. It's nice, but maybe it isn't sort of the insanity that we like to break down here on this channel. And that was until I heard this. It's still going. Are you kidding me? This is about an unnamed creature throwing his limbs at people. Are we, like, what are we doing? Why is it this insane? And I'll remind you yet again that this is the Super Nintendo. It's an 8-bit audio system. It doesn't even have this should not be possible. Check out what happens if we just have like a single bass line or even just a single bass note and all the things we can do with that. Oh, yeah. Come on. So we have... Wow, I should have figured that out ahead of time. We just have this like G pulsing line. It goes to F, A flat, and then back to G, right? And this just kind of goes on and on and on, right? It's like it's a drone or like a vamp going on in the bass, right? Now the cool thing that happens here is over top of that, we can kind of do anything we want. And the device used here is to use triads moving around in seemingly arbitrary ways to create that tension of a boss fight. We're just moving down in whole steps. We took F major, E flat major, D flat major. Did we just go down again? Yeah, that's, that's B over G. Look how crunchy that is. Ugh. We're still going. There's A. We got our first half step for a while. A flat. It's just wild, right? And that idea is taken even further in Rocket Launcher. Right, so we're just in E major, and we're just going back and forth. Honestly, what this really is like a 1 chord. This is a 5 chord. F sharp minor over B, right? So it's a cool way to make like a version of a 5 chord. And we can just go back and forth while we have this like epic brass melody going on. Yeah, more minor thirds, right? Because we're in here and then we went to G major, 1 5, 1 5, right? And then check this out. I'm angry. This is... What are we doing? Okay, so this is insane, right? We started in E. We went to G. That's all fine. But then we had to go to this B major with its 5 F sharp in the bass. And then that same sort of we can play one note and do whatever we want with triads over top that we were just talking about in the boss fight. Yeah, we do that same thing here, but check it out. What? D major, D flat major, B flat major, A major, F major, A flat major, before going back to B major. What is that? And we do that twice, but then we go up a half step. Now we have C with its 5 in the bass of G. And then we go like this. C major, B flat major, E flat major, D flat major, F major, and then it goes to D major, and then the bass moves up and we end up on E. Again, still using our 5s. We've not allowed this to resolve at any point. We're building up this tension by using 5s in the bass. And then we build the chords up. It's like F sharp over F sharp, G, A, before finally getting to that 5 chord, which brings us back to E. This whole thing is just one giant way to resolve the harmony back to the home base of E major. That's it. And to get there, we go. What? Insane resolution to a major chord I think I've ever heard in my life. Now, you probably wouldn't be surprised at all if I told you that the name Follin was involved in this soundtrack. After all, we've talked about the great Tim Follin multiple times on this channel. However, while Tim played an integral role in the development of this soundtrack, it was his brother Jeff that put a ton of work into Plok. And unfortunately, Jeff passed away just a few months ago this year. But he left behind this insanely incredible music as his legacy that we get to enjoy forever and marvel at how they made it. So much of the brilliance of Jeff and Tim Follin is their ability to harness chaos, to harness this unbounded harmony, to create an environment fitting for a king of an island that throws his limbs at people. When the game calls for chaos, the soundtrack matches it perfectly, but it still provides us with something that our ears can understand. It's not avant-garde, it's not atonal, it's not even really that crazy when we break it down. It's chaotic, but it all makes sense. And it's why I continue to be blown away by the music written for so many of these old video games. But I want to know from you, is this a game that you grew up playing? Is this one of your favorite soundtracks, or are there others that you would like me to break down? I'm absolutely in love with this music, so please let me know your recommendations in the comments down below. And don't forget to grab 30% off that Intro to Piano course. That sale is going to be wrapping up very soon, so get in while you can. Use the link in the description. It's the best way to support the channel, and I appreciate it so much. Anyways, that's going to be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you in the next one.